going on? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, Political Vigilante Live. Ho! Boom, 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 boom. Hello, citizens of Gotham. How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Boom, 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 boom. What's up? Can you hear? Can you see and hear me? Okay. Let me know if you can hear and see and hear me. Okay. Nice shirt, vegan. Hello, business dia, buenos dias. Yeah, can't hear you. Really? That everybody can't hear me? High five. Hello, Graham. Can you hear me? No. No, hear me. Hello. Hi, y'all. Um, sounded good. Okay. Sounds low. All right. We'll try. Boop, 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 boop. Hello, everybody. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? Is it loud now? Now can you hear me? Barely hear you. You can't hear now. No sound. Audio is low. Audio is very low. How's this? Is that better? Did that just improve it? Very low. Weird. Wow. How low can you go? More volume indeed. Okay, we'll pump up the volume, pump up the jam, pump it up and pump it, pump it, pump it. How about that? Still waiting for the sound. It might not be on your end, but it's louder. Haha. You really can't hear me, huh? It's looking like I'm getting sound on all my levels. Let's put the main up just a touch. There we go. There we go. There it is. I just got it up there, right? It just got better. Mm. Yep. There you go. There it is. There it is. We're better now, right? That's better. That's what I thought. Better, but still low. Well, boom, 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 boom. There, I just pumped it up a little bit. Is the volume up on your end? Almost not audible. Hmm. Um, yeah, I heard to get the volume on fuck thing. You don't need to post 10 times. Um, there it is. That's better, right? Huh. Hmm. Let's see. Well, my lav is pretty. How's that? I just turned the lav up. The lav. I'm not gonna show. Your phone is all the way up. All right. Somebody just said that got better. Hmm. More cowbell. By little, we're getting there. It's getting better all the time. Oh, oh, brain freeze. Ah, oh, mm. My smoothie just attacked me. How about that? There we go. It echoes a little if that's a clue, huh? I want to try some. You're breaking up. Graham, go off grid. You got it, Shimshay. Vegan brain freeze. Lint in the laugh? That's funny. Graham, you and Ron kicked ass. Loved the Zoom show last night. Yeah, the Zoom shows are super fun. And I'll put it up on my Patreon at the $5 level probably tonight. So if you missed it, it's still available for you. I blame Granny Petrol for the audio issues. It's sabotage. Oh, just pour a little oil on your soundboard. It'll make it sound lickety split. Shimshay retreat camp. What minimum super chat do you want on Venmo and PayPal, Graham? Well, whatever you can do. Venmo's a little better if you can because Venmo doesn't have charge fees. PayPal takes a little bit of fees, not a lot, but if PayPal's your preferred way, that's fine. What's up? Oh my God, this is a good smoothie. Unsweetened organic almond milk. Frozen organic mangoes, frozen organic banana, frozen organic blueberries, unsweetened organic peanut butter, some greens, frozen greens, and a plant-based protein powder. And I'm wearing the jersey of the Costa Rican national team. This was their World Cup jersey in 2018. I was in Costa Rica in June of 2018, right when the World Cup started. It was awesome. I surfed my ass off every day, and then we'd watch soccer. It was great. How do you convince my family to take Twitter is a... All right. You should interview economist Dr. Michael Hudson. Okay. There, I will do that. I know, I saw that Nina Turner just joined the People's Party. That's very intriguing. Los Tacos the best. 140 watching, 47 likes. Did I surf at Santa Teresa, Graham? I'm trying to remember. I was staying in Tamarindo, and then they took us to a bunch of different surf spots, which were just awesome. God, it was so great. It was almost 2 years ago now. Sailor Man, what's up? Great show last night. Granny Petrol in the house. Granny Petrol. She's fantastic. Please live stream with Ryan Dawson. Okay. Why haven't you and Ron been on Jimmy's show recently? You know, Jimmy's busy. Ron and I are streaming every day. Like, everyone's busy. There's no, like, conspiracy or fallout or whatever. And Jimmy's trying to get, I mean, he's getting all these live interviews, Chris Hedges and Nick Brana and all these people. So we'll be back on. You ever go surfing in Baja? No, I haven't, but I want to. I'm glad. Oh, well, you guys all had fun at the show last night. That's right. I'm disenchanted from People's Party after my argument with them last night. Yeah. Oh, warm Costa Rica water. The water in Costa Rica was so warm and so nice. The people were so friendly. The food is great. They have this like totally pro-environmental policy. It was like one of the cleanest countries I've ever seen. They don't have a military. They're basically called like the Switzerland of Latin America. It was so cool. I mean, we would go the one time. There was this one place. One day we went there by a truck. Another day we took there by a boat. And we'd surf and get out of the water. And there was like a coconut tree right there, and they were selling fresh coconuts. So you get out of the water, and the water's one. You just like got done surfing for 2 hours or whatever, and it's so, you're hot and dehydrated or whatever, and they were just fresh coconut. Like they just, it was so good. It was so great. Graham, hi from Iraq. We love you. Oh, wow. Where in Iraq? I've been to, so that's where I got um hmm, this painting. I got this when I was in Iraq. I think it's like the Bedouin people. I got this actually in Baghdad. Yeah, I've been to Iraq 3 times performing, mainly for the United States military. Um, and so I always want to go back and visit. Um, you're in the southern part. Okay. I was in Balad. We did a lot of shows in a lot of little fire bases in the south. And I did a lot of shows in the Anbar province and then up north too. Because I was there Thanksgiving of '07, then like September of '08, and then January of 2011. So I hope you're well there. I always wanted to return. I want to return as a tourist. But the American, yeah, Abalad Air Base, yeah. Greetings from Chino, California. I've been up to Chino. Oh, such a good smoothie. Hit the like button, everybody. 178 watching, 73 likes. Hit the like button. Share this on your social media. You are so welcome. My home is your home. Just contact me. I will take you around Babylon. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. You got it, man. I want to come back there. I was just talking to a friend that lives in Tehran. I want to go to Iran and visit there. Who do you think would be better for Jesse, Graham, or Jimmy? What do I think about the Iraqi people? I met a lot of different people, and they all seemed pretty nice. I mean, obviously, I was treated a little differently because I was traveling with the United States military, so I wasn't able to like go out and just like walk around the streets. I had all these military people protecting us, so it was like I'm obviously was looked at, differently. The Iraqis that I did met seemed very nice. Um, had a lot of Kurds too. They were really supportive, and but it's just I'm there and they're giving me a big flak vest to wear, and there's all these soldiers around protecting us and stuff. So I wasn't just some guy walking on the street. So I don't know. I'd like to see. Um, I'd like to just go there and walk around as a civilian and see what it's like. I stayed in a lot of Saddam's old bases. That was pretty nuts. Or his old palaces. I flew all over the country. I mean, I flew all over it. And the difference I noticed between Iraq and Afghanistan is that there was far more of an infrastructure in Iraq. Afghanistan, um, um, it's like Afghanistan is like hundreds of years behind. I mean, it was nuts. Oh God, I forgot. Is it buffering at all? Um, Iraqi people were friendly people, right on. We have no problem with the American people, only your stupid governments. Yeah, I know. Oh man. Oh. Let me see. All right, still having some mic trouble. All right. Boom, 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 boom. How's that? Is that a little better? But we can hear. Looks really buff here, Graham. 168 pounds of vegan dynamite. That's right. Um, there, that's better. Okay, cool. Went up. All right, good. Greetings from South Africa. You, Jimmy Dore, Aaron Matei, and the rest of the gang. You guys are awesome from your own political. Get rid of the clown. I know. Thank you. Um, how do you feel about the deplatforming of David Icke? Oh, God, he got deplatformed? Oh, shit. I didn't know that, man. Oh, God, that's brutal. Oh, God. Ugh, hold on. I got to make the internet better. Hold on a sec. God damn, that's worry. It worries me about David Icke getting deplatformed. Um, is that better for the internet? Oh, 212 watching, 102 likes. Um, God, that's freak because I know David Icke has done a lot of crazy stuff. God, that's brutal. All right. Oh man. All right. Let's read some super chats and then we'll hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Great way to support the show. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Share this on your social media. When you watch my regular clips, hit the like button on those and put comments in the comment section. That always helps. Um, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah. David took the blinders off for me. I'll still purchase his stuff. Thanks for the notice. God damn it. Not Colombia. This is Costa Rica. This is the Costa Rican national jersey from the 2018 World Cup. I just felt like wearing a soccer jersey today because like um I miss watching sports. Like when I was younger, I was so into it, like too much into it. I'd get all mad about this and that team or whatever. And that I don't want to do that. That's ridiculous. But now, especially the last 3 years of doing this show, since I cover a lot of heavy, intense topics and it was just a nice take a break, watch soccer, especially I like watching the MLS. I know they're, it's not on par with like the premiership and those leagues, but it's cool. And there's LA has two teams now, the LAFC and the Galaxy. And you can go to the games for about 30-40 bucks. They're not too expensive and they're fun. And I love watching the World Cup. And I just miss sports, man. And just like even just coming home at night or whatever after doing shows and doing this or whatever, which I love doing, but taking a break and just like watching sports highlights is such a way to like, you know, because for any job, but especially this and covering the Epstein stuff is always really hard to handle. taking a break, man. Just like, oh wow, sports highlights is so great. I'll be happy when sports come back just to give me. I've been watching the Jordan documentary about the Bulls, um, which is awesome. I love those '90s Bulls teams. They were so great. Hit the super chat button. It's a great way to support the show. Everything Revolution. Shave your knuckles for justice. Home Fry G Man, can you read the amazing revolutionary lyrics from this 81 song Open Your Eyes by Lords of the New Church Punk? Okay. All right. Let's read that right now. Let's read that new. I'm going to look that up right now. Open Your Eyes by Lords of the New Church. Let's read the lyrics. Bum 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 bam bam. Bum 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 bum. Oh my God. Okay, let's just talk about this real quick. We're going to just do a segment. It's pretty intense. All right. Thank you for sending me that. I'm going to talk about this right now. We're going to make this into a segment. What do you think of that, you sons of bitches? How about a segment? Bro, stop making your segment into my segment. Also, too, I don't watch the NFL really. I don't really get that into the NFL anymore, um, but it's also baseball season. Like I wish baseball, I love it's just slow and easy, and you can, like, I'm a Cub fan, right? So like they play a lot of their games during the day, which are start at 11 o'clock California time. So I'll just be home, like working, putting together shows for editing or posting or whatever, and there's just a baseball game on the background. It's slow and easy, and the announcer's always talking that slow, easy talk to chew up a lot of time. Ball two, 1-2 to the batter. Of course, he came up in minor league, like they just, and then you just hear like the crack of a bat. And you turn over and watch the play. I can love it. It's such a great distraction, man. All right, all right. Oh boy. All right, this is a really cool song to talk about. But let's see what else we can put together with that. With that, boom, 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 boom. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a delightful Sunday afternoon or evening or Monday morning if you're down under. It's in the morning on Monday. Probably about 8:30 in the morning on a Monday. I know Melbourne's they put their half-hour thing around. The hopes and dreams and fears and zoom. All right. Progressive, shave your knuckles for justice. Congress has declared themselves non-essential. Delayed session again. They're the worst. They're the worst. But they're going to resist Trump. No, they're not. Google user. Shave your knuckles for justice. Keep up the good work. You got it. You're making Gotham great again. Balthazar 228. Shave your knuckles for justice. No one will have to vote for Biden in November, as the nominee for the Democrats will be Hillary Rodham Clinton with Warren T. Voigt as a VP. Just wait. I did a video that Hillary is now they're calling out Biden's dementia. Now they're calling out the sexual allegations against Hillary. Now they're okay to do that because Bernie's not the nominee anymore. And we're seeing the hypocrisy of the Me Too and Believe All Women movement. They all believe all women when Dr. Ford accused Kavanaugh. And I believed her. And I wanted a full investigation to show how guilty he was. And they were like, no, just believe all women, no investigation. I was like, no, it helps her case if we get a full investigation. No, believe all women. Okay, so Tara Reid, I believe her. There's all this evidence. Well, hold on. Let's get a full investigation. Now that they're so full of shit. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Hillary's already scamming her way into it. 166 likes. Hit the like button. Yeah. Do I watch Pastor Rick Willis on True News? No, I have not. Waving shaved knuckles from Launceston, Tasmania. What's up? Never been to Tasmania. I want to go there. Did Rashid Buttar really get banned from YouTube? I don't know about that. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking of new ways to harm our people. Yeah, and neither do we. Well, Jenna Chernyover is making a good point, and this is the thing I've talked about. Not to be evil the way they are, but we have to constantly be thinking of resourceful ways to call out the powerful and empower everybody, which is why I'm like general strike, general strike, general strike. We just have to do that. We just have to. Like, now's the time we have the power. And those people that are mainly, white Trump supporters that are like wanting to go back to work and they're showing up with their guns, obviously I don't agree with that. And obviously they're getting treated way more fairly than if black people were to protest. But I understand why they're protesting. They want to go back to work. They feel like they're being held back for no reason and whatever. And but rather than be critical of those people or just say, oh, they're just a bunch of dumb MAGA hat wearers, try to get them into the fold of a general strike and go, look, here's where you should focus your protests. That's what you do. Get them on board with workers, because they're all probably working class people. That's what we need to do. I've said this, and I will say this every day of this goddamn pandemic. The workers in America have never had more leverage than they do right now today. Never. So, and we're going to talk about that in a sec, but let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a segment. Let's do a segment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a segment. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. You're making Gotham great again. Want to see something really scary? That's from the Twilight Zone, the movie. Good movie. Good movie. Hold on, we're gonna get the. I released the podcast. New episodes of the audio podcast are available. I released them early on Patreon and YouTube if you're a subscriber to either one of those. And it's a great way to consume the program. just fix that real quick. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Shave your knuckles for justice. We are in interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. Now more than ever, we need to call it out. But I've talked about how artists and musicians and comedians and whatever need to be calling out what's happening. And they kind of have throughout history, but we don't hear about it. And that's by design. That's by design. So I want to read you the lyrics that were submitted to me by Everything Revolution by this punk band called Lords of the New Church. And it relates to what is happening today. This came out in 1981, I believe. Video games train the kids for war. Army chic in high fashion stores. Law and order's done their job. Prisons filled while the rich still rob. Assassination politics, violence rules within our nation's midst. Well, ignorance is their power tool. You'll only know what they want you to know. Oh, wait a minute. That's not true. We can trust the media. Come on. How come mainstream media hasn't been talking about Epstein? That's right. The television cannot lie. Controlling media with smokescreen eyes. Nuclear politicians picture show. The acting's lousy, but the blind don't know. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes. They scare us with all the threats of war. This is 1981. So we forget just how bad things are. You taste the fear when you're all alone. They're going to get you when you're on your own. The silence of conspiracy, slaughtered on the altar of apathy. You got to wake up from your sleep, because meek inherits the earth 6 feet deep. Because that old thing from the Bible, the meek inherit the earth, was like, the only way you're going to inherit the earth is you'll be dead. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes. This is explaining everything that's happening right now. I talk about this a lot on this show. Whenever they're talking about something, right now it's COVID-19. There's a fair amount of evidence that's significant. It's highly contagious, and maybe the stay-at-home orders have helped flatten the curve. Okay, great. But they're taking, obviously the powerful are taking advantage of it. As I've said, even if it's 100% organic, real, wasn't cooked up in a lab, it's not a military bioweapon, could be. But let's just say for argument's sake that it is a real thing. They're absolutely using this to take advantage. Now Google's going to track our COVID, and I don't trust it. But I always say, whatever the thing is, impeachment, Trump tweeted this crazy thing, whatever the reality TV drama of the day is, always ask yourself, what are we not talking about? We're not talking about Epstein. We're not talking about the corruption of the Democratic Party. We're not talking about how, the Democrats just voted to extend this and that. All the Democrats have done have co-signed all of Trump's things. But you don't hear that. And both parties can criticize each other, but only in this very narrow sort of parameters. You can't say, oh, well, they support war, they profit from war. And they don't say that. They support for-profit prisons, and they support for-profit healthcare. You can't say that. You just can't. So controlling the media with smokescreen eyes. We talk about a lot on the show. That's why we can't talk about Epstein. The most powerful people in the world are in Epstein's black book, and that's why that story's just gone away. It's just gone away. And how people like Bill Gates funds all of these media outlets.
That's why he's always depicted as this sort of nerdy philanthropist. No talk about how he's actually had ties to Epstein since the 90s. It's what this song is calling out. We need to support artists that talk about this. But this is by design. How come you've never heard of this band? I haven't until today. Now, granted, I'm not a big music guy. I'm sure Ron Placone's like, oh, I love those guys. I saw them play. I've got a vinyl album, whatever. But if you're not, the reason why they never became huge is because this message, you can't have this message out to the masses. Because as I've shown you before, this is the propaganda multiplier. The White House, the CIA, the Pentagon feed the news agencies, which then feed the masses. I did that, talked about the doc Out of Shadows, talked about the very same thing. What this also shows, and what the lyrics of that song show, is what the CIA, let's talk about, started with Operation Paperclip. There was the OSS back then, but Operation Paperclip took ex-Nazis and brought them to this country. And even that was sold to the American people of, well, these were just innocent scientists that were under Hitler's thumb, and after we liberated them, we just wanted to help. They're going to help us. No, we people we knew were scientists and doctors that were torturing people, doing human experiments, evil shit. Hitler was into the occult, evil, satanic, crazy shit. Openly took them into our country. No problem with it. Then there's MK Ultra, all the experiments we've done on people to modify behavior. And then there's Operation Mockingbird. This is not crazy tinfoil hat shit. This is leaked documents. This is whistleblowers. This is Freedom of Information Act stuff that's out there for public. It's a matter of public record. They just dump 10 million documents out there because they know you're probably not going to take time to sift through them, and they're redacted, and you got to spend hours to connect the dots, but people have done it. Mockingbird is to control all of it, and not, as I've talked about numerous times, and this is what Out of Shadows talks about. If you haven't watched that documentary, please watch it. It's not just Fox News and MSNBC and CNN and the New York Times or whatever. It's the big studios. CIA has had offices in Hollywood since the late 40s. The CIA was formed in 1947, and they realized through all their research for Operation Paperclip and MK Ultra and Mockingbird, all those, they realized we got to control people, what they think, what they see. So that's why we watch all these movies with all this violence and death and all this crazy shit. Video games train kids for war. Now, I've talked about this. One of the reasons I can't really watch the NFL specifically, but they do this with all sports. I'm a sports fan, wearing a jersey, but the NFL talks in all that military language, right? The defense, digging the goal line and strap it up and all this. And they're always showing video games for war, military strike, gunner, blah, 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 war military games. Arnold Schwarzenegger's promoting some of them. And then right after that is a recruiting video. The few, the proud, the Marines, right? To tell teenagers, teenage boys, and now teenage girls, here, it's a fun game. It's like that video game you play. So they can profit from it. Army chic and high fashion stores. Well, I remember this. So the anti-war movement was really big in the 60s and 70s, protesting the Vietnam War. So they realized, how do we undermine that? Because anything to undermine mainly the left getting together and calling out the powerful. So the early hippies were very anti-war. They were serious activists. Oh, we're going to flood in LSD, drugs, free sex. They started the honeypot, all that stuff. And war and military clothing and culture was really frowned upon In the early 80s, it started to get chic again. Chic. Sorry, I'm new to English. Armai, Chic, no, Army Chic in high fashion stores. I remember that when I was like 10, 11 years old, 12 years old in the early 80s. All of a sudden, like camouflage pants, and that was cool. And that wasn't just some popular trend that popped up. They fed that into society. You'll only know what they want you to know. That's why the news is just showing those like Trump supporters wanting to go back to work. They're just that's the thing they're focusing on. They're not showing all the rent strikes. I'm going to do that in another segment. Controlling the media with smokescreen eyes. See the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes. They scare us with threats. Everything's about fear. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Joe Biden, but if you don't vote for Biden, then Trump's going to win. That's the lesser of two evils, is a fear-based tactic of voting, right? Every day on social media, I get some neoliberal like, Graham, so you want Trump to win? Because they refuse to acknowledge. The people that voted for Trump refuse to acknowledge his crimes, how he's bailed out the Wall Street and the billionaires. They don't want to hear any of it. Just like the left refuses to hear that Obama dropped more bombs than Bush. He dropped more bombs than Bush. How many innocent people? Because 90% of US bombs dropped hit unintended. The casualties are unintended. They're civilians. We only get 10%. 10% of the people that die are the people we're trying to target, the so-called bad guys, the high asset terrorists or whatever. 90% of the casualties are women and children. Nobody cares that Obama did that. No one cares that Obama did that. His tweets were nice. He gave over $1 trillion to the banks. 6 million foreclosures happened. No, his tweets were nice. Keep you scared that and what's this? They're gonna get Roe v. Wade. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's gonna die, Graham, if you don't vote. So I got to vote for a rapist with dementia versus a rapist with a coke problem in a tanning salon? Like that's. You taste the fear when you're all alone. They want us isolated. They want you home alone in front of a screen, just reading scary news and blah, blah, blah. Watching the COVID death roll ticker. That ticker, the stock market number going down, the COVID death rate going up. The silence of conspiracy. They're going to get you when you're on your own. Divided, distracted, and afraid. That is their tactic. That is their tactic. Divided, distracted, and afraid. Because you don't want to see what the war machine's really up to. It's a Raytheon commercial. Look at it. It's exciting. Global world, excited. Everything. Oh, well, Raytheon, right? Exciting trains and people and technology and the future. And boom, boom, boom. Don't you want to work on the cutting edge? Raytheon.
We see these beautiful pictures at night from the decks of these two U.S. Navy vessels.
Beautiful pictures. Isn't war awesome? That's what Brian Williams said. He's told to say that because Raytheon buys ad time on MSNBC.
I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen. I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons.
I'm guided by the beauty of weapons. Brian Williams said that. Do you think it was just a flub or Brian Williams talking? No, he's paid. This is manufacturing consent. The reason why Brian Williams still has a job is because he's willing to say stuff like that. He's not saying that rocket could have built this many schools. It's going to kill so many innocent people in Syria. Why are we going to war there? He'll loses his job. He loses his job if he says that. Doesn't mean we shouldn't call him a gutless coward, because he is, because he needs that 7-8 figure payday, because he's got no soul. I don't have a 7-figure payday. I get supported by you on Patreon, Rockfin, Super, whatever. Look at all these
We
good
are
people.
one team
creating trusted, innovative solutions.
to make the world a safer place.
Trusted, innovative solutions to make the world a safer place. But rest easy, everybody.
And they are beautiful pictures.
Beautiful pictures.
Of fearsome armaments making.
This is from, I think, 2 years ago, maybe. This is when Brian went. This is MSNBC. Trump launches missile strike on Syrian airfield. This is when they all love Trump. When he bombs people, that's when the MSNBC loves him. Everybody gets on board. It immediately becomes state media. But don't worry, guys. The democratically controlled Congress, they're going to resist Trump. Oh, whoops. There's Nancy Pelosi eating ice cream. You're all in a coronavirus lockdown? I haven't got my $1,200 check. I got turned down for unemployment. I just applied for the new one for self-employed people. I might get that. I don't know. I got $1,000 in the SBA loan that might be a grant. I might not have to pay it back. Okay, cool. She's probably got $500 in ice cream. That watch right there is probably a $800,000 watch. She's probably wearing my rent in clothing and jewelry. Shave your knuckles for justice. It's time to wake up, right? Boom. Boom, boom, pow. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, everybody? 370 watching, 232 likes. Hit the like button. Oh. Pelosi's daughter looks like a... Wait, do you see her liquor cabinet? That's a... Question, Graham, I'm a huge fan. I just wanted to ask you about the recent time, and basically the question is, why are you such a bitch? Oh, wow. That's cool. I guess we got to block you now. We could have had a nice time together, and now you're blocked. What else do we got here? Yeah, Brian Williams was literally reading those lines for a Raytheon commercial. Insane. Let's read some super chats, everybody. Great way to support the show. Hit the little dollar icon button. Even a couple of bucks helps. Every little bit helps, keeps me doing what I'm doing, because I don't make Brian Williams money. Y'all support me. You keep these vegan guns going. John Coyne. John, shave your knuckles for justice. Extremely frustrated. I'm not that smart of a guy. How do I get people who are better educated than me to realize what's happening? Well, you know what always helps me is I think about my own trajectory of waking up. I think about how I think about how I realized when I started to go, man, I got to do something about this. Or not I have to do something about this, but how I slowly, and there's some people that sort of planted some seeds for me and told me to wake up and showed me stuff, and just, I always stick to the facts and point it out. And I also realized I kind of stopped arguing with the people that are like, but Graham, Biden, I just go, do what you want to do. I'm not, I can't vote for the lesser two evils. I voted for Jill Stein and I feel great about it. But she's a Russian agent. No, she's totally debunked that. She paid her way to Russia. That photo op around that table. Here's the interview footage of her explaining it. And here's a bunch of other officials who've met and spent more time with with Vladimir Putin. Clinton has been there. He's paid $500,000 by a big bank with ties to the Kremlin. I mean, yeah, I just plant the seeds. I go tell them to read Death of a Liberal Class by Chris Hedges. Start showing them, like, read this article, like, bring them in slowly. That's what I do. That's what helps. So that's what I've been trying to, how I try to, that's how I try to make it a little more palpable. A little more palpable. Boom, 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 boom. So that it's not, because I think of times when people try to show me, wake me up, and I kind of got it and kind of didn't. So be patient if you can. I know it's hard right now because we need everyone to wake the fuck up. I always just say, yeah, but I've heard the lesser of two evils argument. The lesser of two evils is still evil. You know, the lesser of two evils is still evil. And the Democrats are not our friends. And just point out the facts. The Democrats have voted for Trump's thing this time and that time and all the time. That's all they do, man. Hey, I have a therapist. Oh, the volume got turned on again. All right. How's that? Is that better? Oh, man. Oh, the volume shit got turned on again. How's that? Is that better? How's that? Is that better? No good. All the way up. Boom, 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 boom. How's that? How's that? How's that? Getting better. Getting there. Hear you just fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it is YouTube messing with me. I absolutely think that. There we go. Hear you loud and clear. All right, cool. Let me check. Some of you said you might have gone to Venmo. Just make sure if anyone decided to use Venmo, I want to make sure I answer your question. Venmo is at Graham-Elwood. Berber. Thank you, by the way, to everybody that came to the Zoom comedy show. I have the tickets for next Saturday, 5 o'clock. They're $5. They're super fun. Let me put that out there. 272 likes. Hit like button, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard you loud and clear all stream. And that's weird. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is next Saturday, 5 o'clock. All right, let's read some more and then plan for a marathon, not a sprint. Absolutely. Let's read some more super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Tokney, shave your knuckles for justice. I just wanted to point out that in Joe Biden's case, he could claim he showed restraint, unlike his Republican opposites. He said, "Come on, man, I thought you liked me," meaning he looked for consent. Is that far more noble than flat denial? Yeah, I mean, and this is how awful our two-party system is that we have to kind of find some sort of lesser type of rapist. And you know, I just he's a creep. And all these other women, there's an Epstein survivor that said saw Joe Biden, like that was said she was trafficked to Joe Biden. No one wants to talk about that. His behavior with the kids and holding them is like classic pedophile, creepy behavior. And this that we have, the people are literally having to make these distinctions over the lesser of two rapists is just awful. Trump is awful, and so is Joe Biden. I'm not picking either one of them, and I will vote third party. And if everybody voted third party, it would really change things. They're more the 1%, the ruling class is so afraid of everybody waking up and getting together. They're so afraid of it, and they're doing everything in their power to stop it. Disinformation, what the lyrics of that song said, that's all they're doing. It's crazy. It's insane. Bobby Tokney, don't let my 20 bucks go to waste. I won't. I'm going to donate it to Biden's campaign. Whoops. Well, Graham, why would you? No. I use it for stuff like rent for my apartment and my Wi-Fi and my bills and keeping this thing moving. And this is my full-time job now, doing this. So I'm going 6 nights a week. Monday nights are 8 o'clock on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. And I'm sorry, I wasn't able to get clarity yet on whether it's going to be for like subscribers only to Rockfin. As of right now, let's assume that it is. But I'm going to try to talk to them tomorrow. But I will be live tomorrow night on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood at 8 p.m. Pacific. Last week, it was only for people that were $10 premium Rockfin subscribers. And so if you go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and sign up for $10 a month, you get access to every content, create premium content. I just talked to Jimmy today, and he's going to start posting stuff on Rockfin. So the $10, Kim Iverson is going to be posting on Rockfin. So your $10 then gets everybody's. Me, Kim, Ron, Convo Couch, Nico House, Kim Iverson, Jimmy, everybody. Jackson Facts. So that's one way to sports show. Anyway. Art, you're making Gotham great again. Thank you for supporting the show, Art. Edwin Dunning, what's up, Edwin? Do you have any non-doc movies you recommended that came out in the last 5 to 10 years for tonight's stream viewing? Oh, I just watched a great movie called A Most Wanted Man with Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's one of the movies that came out right, I think, after the time it was one of the last movies he made before he died from heroin overdose, which is awful. It's a great movie. He plays this like German intelligence guy. It's a real cool like spy type thing, but not like a Jason Bourne car explosion fight. It's really, and he's a really fine actor. Was a really fine actor. Still is. His movies live on. I just watched that movie. It's so cool. That's a great movie. So I hope that helps, Edwin. Thank you. Bobby Tokney, thank you, Bobby. If Biden ran as a Republican, would he accomplish his goal of defeating Trump rather than running as a Democrat? Yeah. I said this when he announced a year ago. I said, Joe Biden, he should really, I go, he's my favorite Republican. I go, if Joe Biden ran against Trump in the Republican primary, he would probably win. And it'd be like, oh, great, a reasonable Republican. And all of us on the left would go, well, I don't like Republicans, but Biden is at least right. And if it was Bernie versus Biden, Bernie would have beat Trump anyway. Biden's a Republican. The power structure, the people that control the Democratic Party, Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, they're Republicans. That's what the Republican Party looked like 30 years ago. Liz Warren. The Republicans have gone so far to the right, they've become a fascist organization, and the Democrats have become the most conservative. We are in a conservative, crazy country. It's insane. Farkas garbage. Shaving knuckles for justice. Got my 1200 a day. Never lose hope, Graham. Okay, Farkas. Good to know. I hope mine shows up. I'm gonna just like, I want to buy a better microphone. Obviously, I need some sound. I've always got a fucking sound issue. I'm gonna get a new microphone, and then, you know, call up a sound tech friend of mine who's hurting for work, and throw him a couple of bucks to like, we'll do like a video chat, and he can show me all this stuff. Because I got this fucking soundboard, and there's a million knobs on it. I don't know what they all do, and I'm not gonna because I don't know what they do. But thank you, Farkas. Art again. Art, thank you so much. Shaving for Justice, Art. Pomo Dorino. Fist bump. Boom. Boom. Knuckles shaved. Knuckle shaved. RJN 23. Oh, I just how I see 23. I think of Jordan. That ESPN doc is awesome. I was living in Chicago during their first 3 championships, and then I moved to LA for their second 3. It was the greatest team to watch. Oh, I miss that style of basketball too. Just pick and rolls and screens and hard fouling, and love it. Love your video on the Clinton Epstein Gates triangle. Keep your head up. Thank you. Thank you. It's some dark shit, man. Covering the Epstein stuff is so dark. And it makes you lose faith in humanity. But there's also a lot of good people out there doing good work. There's people like Whitney Webb. She inspires me. She's such a badass journalist. She inspires me. Susie Dawson inspires me. You know, anyone out there like fighting the good fight. Abby Martin, Mike Preisner inspire me. Jimmy inspires me. Like that stuff just, those people inspire me, man. And so that's what keeps me going. There are people out there that really give a damn. Unfortunately, this handful, and I'm talking about literally a couple thousand billionaires, like 2,000 to 3,000 billionaires that really run the world. And most of them are horrible. Most of them are billionaire sex trafficking pedophiles. They're horrible. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. They're awful people. And we need to rid the world of the scourge of billionaires. And when you hear about Ghislaine Maxwell and Les Wexner and the Clintons and Trump, they're the worst people on the planet. And it just makes you go, what? Oh my God, what's going on? But like Whitney Webb said when she was on my show, she goes, I just refuse to accept that they can get away with this. And so I'm going to keep calling it out. That's how I feel. Thousands of girls trafficked just by Epstein. Thousands, and only 30 victims have come forward. 30. What does that tell you? A lot of them have been killed, silenced, paid off, shut up, locked up, whatever. Bobby Tokney, shave your knuckles for justice. I got unemployment and stimulus, so it's my duty to spread it around. So hopefully something starts growing around here. You are one of my heroes. Comb your hair. I do comb my hair. I never let my hair get this long. I usually get a haircut, so my hair just poofs out. It is combed. There's a hairspray in it. I'm doing everything I can to keep this thing dialed in, but it is going to just start going nuts. So I'm trying, but thank you for supporting. Thank you for, for comb your hair. Dude, this is combed. This is a quarantine comb. This is what hair getting combed in a quarantine looks like, brother. I'm doing my best. This is all combed, but my hair, I'm telling you, it froze out. Thanks for supporting the show. It made me laugh. Common sense, independent. Shave your knuckles for justice. Vegan cheese is hard to eat for this vegetarian. It depends. You got it. I know there's a lot of bad vegan cheese out there. I absolutely know that. But there are some brands that are great. I'm going to show you one right now. Not a paid sponsor, by the way. Just a product I like buying. Daya. This is great. This Daya cheese, and it melts really well like regular cheese. I dig it. It's soy free. It's fantastic. You can get it in all different kinds. And then there's this Go veggie cheese. I just like this old school American style on a sandwich with the veggie meat. The only thing about the American one, it just does a lot of plastic wrapping, which I don't like. But there's some vegan cheese that's awful. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some that is awful, but there's good stuff. Miss Hendricks, what's up, Miss Hendricks? Are you shaving your knuckles for justice? They're starting the redemption of George W. Like Creepy Joe, he has a blood of innocence on his hands. Yeah, I'm not buying the propaganda. Well, this bullshit started a year or two ago, a couple years ago, when Ellen had war criminal George W. Bush on her show. You know, Ellen, the CIA asset. And Michelle Obama, like hugging my best buddy. Like, they've been making excuses for this guy. It's the old saying by Malcolm X. You want people to run towards a fox, create a wolf. Trump is the big bad wolf. People refuse to acknowledge all of the awful shit presidents have done, just like Trump. I've always said this. Trump is just the most vulgar version of what presidents have done. When Trump was like, no, we'll leave the troops there to guard the oil, everyone's like, oh, you can't say that. Don't say that. But that's what we've all done. Trump went to Saudi Arabia and he's in bed with the Saudis. Every American president has been in bed with the Saudis. Trump sold them $100 billion in weapons. Yeah, it's awful. And Obama sold $113 billion in weapons. 13 extra billion dollars. Part of that deal was negotiated by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Weird. Like the most corrupt. Biden is a fucking rapist, but he doesn't say grab him by the pussy, so he's okay. What? What does it take? Like, it is a form of insanity. It's a form of insanity. Look, hey, Ted Bundy didn't eat his victims. He just, raped and chopped these women up. He didn't eat them. He's not a monster. That's literally what they're saying. I mean, Mussolini wasn't as bad as Hitler. They're all monsters. Like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable. How about nothing? How about neither of them are monsters? How about we don't choose between two rapist Nazi monsters? How about that? Nowhere else would we do this. I do this joke in my act. Nowhere else would we put up with this. Any of you with kids, if you're married with kids and it's like, oh, honey, it's date night. We need a babysitter for the kids while we go out and have fun. There's only two babysitters to choose from, a pedophile and a meth head. Those are our only choices. I guess we go meth head because the kids will have activities because the meth will be twitching around and they'll have fun. Maybe they'll get face tattoos. The kids love tattoos. No one would ever accept that in their personal lives, having to choose between two awful choices. They would say, fuck no. But the president is the most, like, politics that affects our daily life. We have these two utterly corrupt political parties to choose. You got to be fucking kidding me. Like, how goddamn dumb do you got to be? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. I've heard this lesser of two evils shit for 30 years. What's it going to take? Because let me tell you something. If Biden wins, or if Trump wins, let's say Biden wins, he'll be the worst. And in 4 years, Republicans will run somebody worse than Trump. I guarantee it. Just get anyone in there and it'll never work. You'll have somebody worse. And people will be like, oh, and they'll be longing for the days 8 years from now when the planet's on fire and we're barely alive. We'll long for the days of Donald Trump. If we're longing for the days now of war criminal George W. Bush, bankrupted this country, put us in 2 wars, killed 1 million Iraqis, lied about weapons of mass destruction. It's unbelievable. MLE, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Too many leftists are falling for authoritarianism. Of course they are. They're just folding. Everybody's folding. It's like the lyrics in that song. It's unbelievable. Bobby Hockney. My family is full of black women supporting Biden and attacking the victims. So I'm crazy. I don't know who else to ask for questions I have. They are just like the Trumpers. Yeah, I know. I know. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Just ask them. I always ask, how are you different than the Trump supporter that says the people that say Trump never lies, those people are delusional, and ask them, how are you different than that? If Tara Reid was making the exact accusations against Trump, they'd be like, guilty. It's insane, man. People have lost their minds. They've lost their fucking minds. I don't understand it. I feel for you. I don't know what to say. I can't. I just am going to make statements and not argue with people. Just say the lesser of two evils is still evil. There's so many more allegations against Biden. He's a fucking rapist. It's unbelievable. Thanks for supporting my show. I'm sorry you got to go through that, man. I really am. Common Sense Independent, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Is Ventura running for president in Nevada? I don't know that. I'm pretty sure Jesse Ventura is going to announce that he's Green Party. I think he's going to be in the Green Party debate on the 5th. So I think he's going to do it. The question is, I think the last time the Green Party is on something like 43 or 44 state ballots. But I don't know. You'd have to check which state. They're not on every state ballot, I believe, which is horrible. Sam Dane, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Let the sunshine in, Marlon Shanter. The sunshine in. Oh, that's a great song. Let the sunshine. That's from Hair, the musical. The sun was shining. I got to go hear my blue. Yeah, I'll do that, Sam. You got it, brother. B.A. Baracus. A-Team. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. People don't understand the obvious corruption of rich politicians like Pelosi and the BS charitable foundation like the Clintons. It's so depressing. I know. And if we had an actual media that was like real investigative journalism, this would be all uncovered. I don't know why people don't. I don't know what it's going to. I really like this economic collapse that we're going to go through. And all these, like Georgia, all these people want to go back to work. Okay, Georgia just spiked 1,000 corona deaths because everyone, I mean, all these people that were protesting a week ago down in Orange County, Huntington Beach, where all these people just packed into a beach, they've already linked coronavirus cases. There's going to be a surge. They're going to open stuff. Everything's going to uptick. Close everything down. The economy. The government's going to give us these little crumbs. There's already rent strikes happening. It's crazy, man. I don't know when the fuck people are going to wake up. Bobby Tokney. We're with you. When I feel like giving up, I always stumble on you and 300 some viewers, which makes me feel like you're one of us. Stay beautiful. You got it. You got it. I'm trying. That's why I'm here, is we're all part of a community, man. 323 likes. Hit the like button. That's why I do this. We're part of a community. You're all political vigilantes. We have to come together on this. We just have to. We have to slowly try to wake people up. I'm having more and more friends like going, Elwood, I think you're right, man. Like they're seeing the bullshit. And they didn't used to before. Everyone's slowly waking up to this, man. They're slowly waking up to this. So that's all you can do. I find these great memes showing the bullshit of it, and I just like it's look for the small victories. That's what I try to do. Look for the small victories. 334 likes. I'm glad people are striking. Me too. Well, let's do that segment. I might have to turn the volume down a touch because it looks like it's bleeding out too hot into my camera. So when I record the clip, then there's too much like white noise behind it. So I'm going to just toy with this a little. I'm going to bring the volume down a little just for this segment, but I will bring it back up. So you'll still be able to hear it, but it's just going to be a little bit lower. I got to just bring it down just a hair. There we go. This will be good for the recording level. It's going to be not as loud for you, but you're going to be able to, you're going to get through, everybody. I know you're going to deal with this, right? You're good people. Oh shit, this has been recording the whole time. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching The Political Vigilante. Shape your knuckles for justice. So it's now we're in May. There's rent strikes happening, worker strikes, but the corporate media, the thing they've been focusing on is the right to work strikes. Protests draw thousands over safe stay-at-home orders during coronavirus pandemic. This is in USA Today, right? This was a couple weeks ago. But they want to show, look at these crazy Trump people. And yeah, it's a lot of Trump people. And what people should do is go to them and say, hey, I'm down with your protesting, but join us in a general strike. Join us in a general strike. Because here's what just happened May 1st. The second month now of people being told, a lot of people not working, not making money, unable to pay their rent. With millions unable to pay for housing next month, organizers plan the largest rent strike in nearly a century. This was April 25th. This is from Natasha Leonard in The Intercept. But wait a minute, everybody started striking. The corporate media isn't really talking about it. This is the big story that just happened on Friday. All these rent strikes all over the country, all of these worker strikes, Amazon, Target, all of these strikes. But all the media shows you is like people in Trump hats and guns protesting. Now, there's a valid story to cover in the sense that they were all white people and the cops kind of let them get away with shit. And if a bunch of black people showed up that way, or Latinos, or both, the cops would be really violent, which is absolutely true. And that's a great point to bring up. But they're not talking about all these people all over the country can't pay their bills. The press focused disproportionately attention on the few hundred white reactionaries in a small number of states rallying against social distancing measures. That's the other thing. It wasn't that many people, but USA Today says thousands. It's an outrage. No. It's a handful of people protesting the stay-at-home orders. And when a bunch of them get sick and have to be hospitalized and some of them die, that'll end. But people are going to continue to not be able to pay their rent. We've only had 2 months of paying rent in a pandemic. April 1st and May 1st. That's only 2. This is going to keep going. What happens over the summer? We try to bring the economy back. There's going to be a spike in what's going to happen? At least 400 families who live in buildings, each containing over 1,500 rent units, are coordinating building-wide rent strikes. This is in New York City. Additionally, 500 have committed through an online pledge to refuse to pay rent in May. That's already happening. Here's an organized rent strike in Los Angeles.
We're out here today because we have been on a rent strike for 30 days. We began the rent strike on April 1st. Tomorrow is May 1st. Mayor Garcetti, LA City Council, Governor Newsom, they still have done nothing for tenants.
As California enters its second full month under stay-at-home orders, more tenants are turning their personal economic situations into mass protests. They're demanding that legislators at all levels of government pass laws to cancel rent until the public health crisis is over.
On their daily reports, they give us a lot of info about how many more cases of COVID there are, how many more people are dying, but they're not talking about how they're going to help tenants stay in their home. Evictions have been postponed, but the debt hasn't.
This woman just said evictions have been postponed, but the debt hasn't. This is a valid point. Evictions are postponed, but that means you can't get evicted now. But if you can't pay your rent for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're going to then owe 5 months of back rent. How in the hell is anyone going to be able to pay that off? You haven't worked for 5 months. That's why you couldn't pay rent. And now you have to pay a lump sum of what? What they're protesting. This is Los Angeles and what they were doing in New York and other cities across America that the mainstream media largely is bypassing. They're asking Mayor Garcetti in Los Angeles and Governor Gavin Newsom, where is our money? The federal government should have said, done what Venezuela, that evil socialist government, paid everybody's rent for. You either got to, the federal government has to come in and say, we're going to pay your rent, or do what like Australia and Canada does and goes, here's $4,000 a month, $3-4 grand a month or whatever. There, pay your bill, stay home. There'd be a lot less people protesting. I guarantee you, if everybody's like, oh, you're getting free healthcare, we're freezing your rent, we're giving you $2,000 a month in UBI, or some version of that. Either if you're not going to freeze rent, then give everybody $4 or $5 a month to pay their bills. And the average rent in New York City is $2,800. Los Angeles is something like $2,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. The fuck is $1,200 going to do?
Every month, we're accumulating more and more and more debt. So there's no way we're going to be able to repay that back.
They're calling it a rent strike, and it's just one tactic marking a dramatic new escalation in the long-running fight over affordable housing in California. Even before the pandemic, more than 9 million tenants, which is more than half of those in the state, were burdened by high rents.
What they just said, before the pandemic, there was over 9 million people in the state of California that were burdened by too high of rent. Not to mention California has some of the highest population of homeless people, which has only gotten worse in the last month and a half during this pandemic.
More than 30% of their incomes on housing. But now, with many businesses shut down and unemployment rolls exploding, the coronavirus has injected a new level of fear and desperation into that fight.
Businesses are not going to give us any raises. Those of us who are lucky enough to get our jobs back may not get them back full time. So we're going to be saddled with debt that we're not going to be able to repay, and then eventually we're going to end up losing our home. So we are out here today to demand that the city, the state, and the federal government cancel the rents. We need rent cancellation.
On Thursday, the Los Angeles Tenants Union held a demonstration downtown. They're arguing that the eviction protections approved by the city don't come close to what tenants need during the pandemic.
If we don't get rent cancellation, you're going to see a lot more people on the streets in about 6 months' time, because they're not going to be able to repay back any repayment agreements or back rent. And so then they're going to be evicted, or we're going to be evicted. And so what we really need is to have the rents canceled, so that then we're not worrying about saving every single penny to pay back the rent. Instead, we're able to start spending it back in the market. And so that's really the best solution for the economy, is to get things back up and running again.
That's the greatest point she brings up. We need to cancel rent, because if you're just postponing paying it and you go 5-6 months without working, and what's the job market going to look like once the economy comes back on? It's not going to just, like, they're not going to just turn it on. Oh, the economy, everybody's working, everyone's making great salaries and getting raises. No way. Companies are going to be like, just think of a restaurant that's been closed and maybe is only doing takeout business. And then they open it up. They're going to say, oh, you can only seat 25% of your tables. Everyone's got to spread out. Your waiters got to have gloves, and that means they're cutting 25% of their staff, or 75% of their staff, and only having 25% of their staff. If they're only at 25% capacity, that means they're only generating roughly 25% income. Anyone that's been laid off or furloughed or whatever, they're not air travel, live events, what I do, none of these things are going to come back full throttle. It's going to take 12 to 24 months for this to come back. And you're going to tell someone, oh, they have 5-6 months of not paying their rent or their mortgage. And this is what I've been talking about. This is deliberate. They're going to swoop in and steal your home and steal. And just think, like, if you're just like, You own a little 4 or 5 bedroom, 4 or 5 unit apartment building, and that's like a revenue generator for you. You're not some big conglomerate that owns a bunch of property, but you made some money, you invested in an apartment complex or whatever. You're gonna go there, you're gonna get evicted, you're gonna go through foreclosure, and the banks who just got 4.25 trillion are gonna come in and buy it from you. That's how they stole my house and 6 million people's other houses 10 years ago during the housing crisis, and that's what they're setting up to do now. That's why these rent strikes are important. And they're not, the thing I love about this, they're not asking for just give us a little break. She's like, cancel rent. This is what it's going to take. Bold, nonviolent resistance. Cancel rent. Because, and the ruling class knows this, more people are going to, I'm already seeing more for rent and for lease signs and for sale signs in my neighborhood. And that's going to, in the next couple of weeks in May, that's going to get worse and worse. Just look around your neighborhood. Look and see what you see. I have a lot of apartment complexes, a lot of condo complexes, and some single family homes. And I'm already seeing more of that. So what are they going to do? And who can we count on? And the mainstream media is covering it like this is on NBC's online, but NBC isn't really covering this. Survival tenants, landlords brace for largest rent strike in decades. If banks are getting bailed out and corporations are getting bailed out, why aren't poor people getting bailed out? One activist asked. But this is NBC online. This is NBC.com. This isn't their nightly news, their primetime show. And then we see this nonsense. AOC, people aren't striking because they don't feel like paying rent. They're striking because they can't pay rent. Well, that's true, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Why then did you vote? Right? There's no record of we don't have, because they did that hidden vote for the stimulus. Where you could just call it in or whatever, that thing that usually is just for like the naming of a post office because it's nothing significant. So they use that thing so she can, and it claims, according to one website, she said on Democracy Now! That, yeah, but she didn't vote for it. I mean, she did vote for it. She claims she didn't, but she did. It's a scam. How do I feel like, do we know that we can trust AOC? Am I being too hard on our progressive hero? No, I'm going on her track record. July 31st, 2019, AOC follows Pelosi, Trump's lead by voting big bucks for military. Last Thursday, the House of Representatives passed legislation that will, once signed into law, set one of the highest caps ever on the discretionary budget for the Pentagon and related programs. The Democratic Party that now controls the House voted by a vast majority in favor of the bill. Remarkably, so did AOC and Rashida Tlaib. Oh, yeah, the squad that have endorsed Biden. They've endorsed a rapist with dementia. So this is all political theater, because this is July 31st. Epstein had been arrested. He had just been denied bail, and I had already made the prediction they were going to kill him in prison, which was correct. August 8th, they unsealed the documents. August 9th, he hung himself with a paper t-shirt. That's what was going on back then. Yeah. So when she gets up there and grandstands saying the Republicans are bad, she won't call out the Republicans for also signing on to this. The Republican-controlled Senate and the democratically controlled Congress both gave Trump the highest military budget ever. AOC. We can't trust her. We can't trust the squad. We can't trust Bernie. We can't trust Tulsi. We can't trust anybody within the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party and the corporate media work for, boom, you guessed it, kids, the State Department. I've shown you this numerous times, but I want this ingrained in everybody's head and to all the new viewers. This is what's really going on. Look at that. USA Today. I showed you USA Today, didn't I, earlier? NBC News, right? So they want you judging the MAGA hat wearing people that want to go back to work. Oh, they're dumb, they're idiots, they're going to give us all COVID. Whatever, have whatever opinion, but they don't want you talking about rent strikes. They don't want, the LA Times is in there. That was an LA Times video. but it's not getting picked up. And again, you cannot reform the Democratic Party from within. Something is wrong with the economic system of our nation. Something is wrong with capitalism. Maybe America must move toward a democratic socialism. We must develop programs that will drive the nation to the realization of the need for a guaranteed annual income. Dr. King, 1966. A little less than 2 years later, they killed him. That's why you come here to get your news, because they only run the "I Have a Dream" speech on the once a year during MLK Day. That's they run the "I Have a Dream" speech. Great speech, inspirational. But they don't show this. They don't show Dr. King to all of his socialist speeches, all of his speeches against spending money on war, his poor people's campaign. They don't really talk about that. They just show you a little segment of it. Why? I told you why. They make sure that that's all you talk about. Because they control the media, so we need war to pay for all this. And when we're in a global pandemic and all the money in the stimulus goes to the banks, we need this operation to sell us some bullshit that this woman is fighting for us. No, she's not. It's obvious Mitch McConnell doesn't give a shit. Nancy Pelosi doesn't. She only cares about her walk-in fridge full of ice cream. She doesn't give a shit about us. This is fake progressive, fake give a concern. Bernie Sanders, sheep-herded all of us. Oh, he's going to save the day. All of us to nosedive. Bernie Sanders could have started a third party 4 years ago, and we would have voted for it. He would probably be president. We'd have our first independent president in I don't know how many years. But they want to play ball within the system. That's why she's not on any progressive media. She's not doing independent media. She does The Hill, she does MSNBC, but she's not coming on this show. She's not going on Jimmy's show. She's not doing any of them because she's too busy playing ball with Pelosi and the military-industrial complex, which controls the media. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom, 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 pow, boom, boom, pow. What's up? What's up? Maybe it's something to do with the screens people stare at all day. Well, they lost their minds. I think you're right. I believe the word you're looking for is neo-progressive. Well, that's a good one. I told you I was going to bring the volume down on that segment. I told you I was going to do that, and then you got mad. So you need to listen. When you don't listen, that's your fault. I told you I was going to bring the volume down for that segment because there's something weird in the mix in my recording, and I really want to play that, release that as a separate clip. So I was going to have to bring the sound on it a little bit here so that the clip sound would be better because I don't want this clip sound to be too bled out. But you didn't listen, so your sound is wrong. The sound in your brain, the volume and your ability to listen and discern information and go, okay, well, he said it's going to be a little lower during the segment. So once the segment's over, he'll turn the sound back up, which I have done. What I just did, I used more brain power in just discerning that information, but you didn't. You just went to all cap, meow, 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 cry, baby, cry, cry, complain, complain. My first reaction is complain, not to think. I know the volume was so low. Yeah, well, now it's back up, right? Now you can hear it. Back up. There you go. There. All right. Liliopatra, shave your knuckles for justice. Please stay well. The country needs men like you. Thank you so much. BA, shave your knuckles for justice. Embrace the quarantine here, Graham. You look great. That's not many. Well, I took some clippers like a week or so ago just to clean it up a little bit, but I don't know. That even felt like I might have to do that again if they extend the stay-at-home order in LA. They said it was going to go till May 15th, but I feel like any day now they're going to, like tomorrow, they're going to go June 1st or something. I don't know. Farkas Garvey, shave your knuckles for justice. There is a strip club across the street from Amazon headquarters in Seattle. Bezos offered the owner millions, but won't sell. The guy is my hero. Oh, I love that guy. Oh man. Go buy a $6 Diet Coke for me there. John Moore Jr., shave your knuckles for justice. I remember you blessed me by reading my comment when I didn't have the money for your super chat. If that I remember, thank you from your blind brother. You got it, John. I try to read the as many of the non-super chat ones as I can, but there's 374 people watching, so I can't read all of them. So I try to, and thank you for supporting the show. And I totally, for anyone out there who's like, if money's tight, I get it. There's no stress. There's free ways to support the show. Hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell notification button, going to sharing it on your social media. I've said this, I have a Pandora channel. Both my comedy albums are on Pandora, so you can listen to comedy for free. So check that out. So thank you for supporting the show any way you can. I appreciate I appreciate that. Virtual Gentlemen's Club for Bezos. Deflategate, Watergate, Pizzagate, Bill Gates. Yep. People aren't on the street in Oz purely out of apathy, laziness, and disempowerment because we get welfare all the time, but there's no $4,000 to $5,000 payment to us. Seriously, be proud of the people in the USA. Okay. I heard you guys were getting $1,500 every 2 weeks in Australia. That's what I heard. I liked reading your lips with a slight delay. It was like you were speaking Japanese. I know YouTube is scrambling me. They're messing with me. We don't fight for our rights in Oz because we have none. Defend your rights when you can. Okay, man. I hear you. Do you think Russiagate 2.0 is going to be Chinagate? Yeah. Yeah, because as I've talked about before, China and Russia have, well, first of all, China stopped using the petrodollar. They use their own currency, the petro yuan. China is a monetary sovereign, just like the United States and Australia and a couple other countries that create their own currency. And when China and Russia and India and Pakistan and a couple other Central Asian countries, last month, I think I did the story, or a month or two, maybe March, early April, they stopped trading other non-oil currency, just whatever, products. They stopped buying and selling products between all of their countries in Asia and Central Asia. They stopped using the dollar to do that. They're going to use their own local currencies. Because that's how you could, Russia would sell products to Kazakhstan and they would use the dollar, right? They're not doing that anymore because that benefits America and they don't want to give the American empire any more power. And so that's the real reason, the petrodollar and now that are the real reason why Russia and China are the bad guys, the evil. They don't do any more authoritarian evil shit than the American empire does. They don't spend as much money. They aren't bombing. China, all China has done for the last 20 years has gone into African countries and just pay for this railway and this school and this, they've just spent money on infrastructure. We got to go in and bomb it and war and all this other crazy. China's just been buying everything. They've been taking because when they opened up their economy and they started making all this money in the last 20 years, they're just spending it. They're just buying influence around the world rather than us just bombing everybody into submission. China's putting high-speed rail, and they're updating. They're going to these third world countries in Africa and saying, "Here, we'll build you a brand new port. We'll pay for the whole thing. And we'll build you some swimming pools and schools and whatever else." And so now China has this state-of-the-art port to import all their products into that country. And that country's like, awesome, thanks. We could be doing that. America could have done that. We could have just spread our money and our goodwill all over the world and everyone would love us. Instead, we bomb and give us your resources. We're just like this awful bully that doesn't even need to be. We have all this money. We don't need it for war. I mean, even if just the capitalists went, let us go spread this stuff around the world and give people schools. And we just said, okay, you can make a profit over there, but you got to build schools, roads, and hospitals and all that stuff. Okay, everyone would love us. We could eradicate hunger. We could eradicate all these things. If we got evil sons of bitches like Bill Gates, who pays all these media companies, NPR, all of them, buys ad time to paint him as this like nerdy philanthropist. He's an evil fucking Epstein pedophile friend. He's a psycho. God, I'm so sick of this. China exploiting African labor, especially child labor. China exploiting African poverty. China also committing genocide against Chinese Muslims in Tibet. Yeah, of course. China, my point is not that their reasons in doing all this stuff in China are in third world countries in Africa specifically are like totally benevolent. They're doing a lot of exploitation, but at least they're giving some money. All we know how to do is bomb the shit out of everything. Like, they're all evil, man. Hey, Graham, I need some help with my homework. Oh, I wasn't a great student. All right, folks, hit the like button. 394 likes. America's base is completely surrounding China. I know. Let me read some super chats and we'll sing a song. Keith M. Keith, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Graham, we need a Flowbee home haircut episode. Maybe when I get my 1,200 stimulus check, I'll buy one of those Flowbees and I'll shave my hair online or something. That's going to be brutal. But then I'll be able to comb my hair like Bobby Toki wants. Sam Dean, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Sam, I hope you're doing well down under, my friend. Numbers. 1,400 total cases in Victoria. That's the state where, for those of you who don't know, where Melbourne is, which is, I love Melbourne. I love Australia. I had a great time in Australia. Every time I've gone there, I've had a great time. And when Ron and I were there in November, it was awesome. That's 22 more than yesterday. 19 of the 22 are from the meat industry. Only one child, 13,000 tests yesterday. Yeah, I know. It's like we're starting to hear more of the meat packing industry. It's spreading there. Part of it, they're working in close quarters, but I'm reading more and more stuff. A lot of stuff that has to do with the meat packing and meat. I mean, look at it, mad cow disease. We've never had a mad salad disease. Sure, you can have some vegetables that were shipped and they had E. coli or something on them. Okay, that can happen, all right, that can happen. But just eating vegetables is like, it just, go plant-based life. Thanks for those numbers, Sam. Art, what's up, Art? Lesser of two evils is potentially more evil. Absolutely. It's crazy the mental gymnastics people are playing in their heads for Joe Biden. But then you want Trump if you don't like Biden, you like third party. I don't know why third party is so... One person on social media goes, Graham, I've never seen a third party candidate ever win in my lifetime. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Because everybody thinks the lesser of two evils is the way to go. If everybody woke up and went, wait a minute, we're in an abusive relationship with these two parties. If everybody did that and left, but they don't want to. They want to stay getting abused by either both your parents are drunks, violent, abusive drunks. The Republican violent drunk or the Democrat violent drunk. One's mommy, one's daddy, beating the shit out of you, lying. And when you stand up and go, hey, this house is an abusive alcoholic home, your siblings go, you're crazy. That's what it is. Being an independent lefty socialist in this fucking country, calling out the two-party system. You're called crazy. Madness. Bobby Toki, what's up, Bobby? Why is it that we rely on a 79-year-old senator to be a poster child of progressives in 2020 when literally most of the country feels that way and completely capable of running for office? It's such a, I know. And Bernie himself said it 4 or 5 years ago. And 5 years ago in 2015, he was like, I'm too old. Somebody else run. Somebody else run against Hillary. There's no young people willing to do it. And even AOC, she's too young to run for president. But I wouldn't vote for her now. She's buckling to the establishment. Tulsi, oh, I got behind her. Man, she sold out and backed Joe Biden. You can't, there's no one out there. They won't do it. They all buckle. They all buckle. Where is the young person running to getting, where is it? I don't get it. Bernie's like 79. Yeah, I'm too old. I'm too tired. Maybe that's half the reason why he just gave up. He's like, I'm too tired. Maybe. I'm not making excuses for the guy, but if that's one of the reasons, it doesn't shock me. It's a great point, Bobby. I combed my hair, dude. Humanity, shave your knuckles for justice. POTUS is stupid, but he didn't say to drink bleach. That's media gaslighting. Ultraviolet blood irradiation has been around since 1940s. Oh, I know. That shows you, again, Trump says that thing. Sure, he's dumb and he says stupid crap, but that's what they jump on. I just showed you Brian Williams. When Trump bombed Syria, that's when the media loves him. He says something dumb about Lysol, they lose their shit. He bombs a poor country for no good reason other than they won't let us put a pipeline through there, but they're letting Russia and Iran. They love him. He gives a $1.5 trillion tax break 2 years ago to billionaires. They don't say anything about that. See it? They only call Trump out for these like ridiculous, okay, he says something dumb and so what? But when he does something actually awful, they don't call him out for this. And if he does something awful that they call him out for, they won't say Obama did the same thing. He's separating families at the border. That was awful. It was awful. Jesus would never do that, but Obama built those fucking cages. Obama deported 3 million people. Where was the like, our whole system is broken crap? They just point out these two. Oh, did you see what he called those countries shitholes? And Obama bombed the shit out of them, but they didn't call Obama out for drone striking the whole goddamn Middle East for 8 years because I just showed you Raytheon does ads on MSNBC and Brian Williams jerks off when he sees a rocket go kill people that could have been spent for schools or Medicare for all. Fucking unreal, man. Art. What's up, Art? Georgia just opened the state up for a coronavirus heist. Yeah, it's going to be, I heard Georgia's just 1,000. They just spiked by 1,000. So Georgia and those states that are like, we got to open back up. Yeah, a bunch of people, the numbers are going to spike. Are they using this coronavirus to police state and to lock us down? Absolutely. And it's a highly contagious disease that's, we need to know more information about. It can be both. It can be both. Yeah. Kate. Why Sanders Warren with this North Korea bill now? Oh God, I know, Kate. Thank you so much, first of all, for shaving your knuckles. You're making Gotham great again by shaving your knuckles for justice. Look at those vegan guns on a soccer kit. Tight, lean. Oh, feel it. This is the only hug I've gotten in 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I'm going crazy. Welcome to the political vigilante. Yeah, man. I after Bernie sold out, I was just like, I can barely follow these jackasses in this fake nonsense. I mean, if Jesse runs, I'll get behind that guy. Nina Turner just said she's going to join a People's Party, or she just said she loves the People's Party. I hope that's some sort of like she's getting ready to jump ship, because I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. If Nina Turner, if she would bring a lot of powerful people with her, big name people with her over to a People's Party. If she did that, I would be down with that. Oh man. If she ran for a People's Party, I would probably vote for her over Jesse Ventura. You know, as much as I love Jesse and the Greens, it'll be an interesting summer. It's going to be an interesting summer. The Democratic Convention is technically supposed to be held in August. I don't think there's going to be anybody in that goddamn arena. I think they're going to have it behind closed doors. Some of the sports leagues will have started playing in front of empty arenas just for the TV revenue. And that's what they're going to do at the Democratic Convention. They're going to use a model similar to what the sports leagues have been talking about. They're going to do it behind closed doors. Joe Biden is going to, you know, his dementia is going to get so bad that he's going to hang himself with a paper T-shirt. Hillary Clinton's going to arise, and I want that to happen, because if Hillary does that, that'll make people. I think Nina Turner will finally go, fuck this. I got to do this. There'll be a handful of the I'm with her crowd will be like, our feminist hero is back, and I will be like on the daily talking about her ties to a pedophile. And Ghislaine Maxwell. I will be posting that photo of Ghislaine Maxwell at her daughter's wedding like every day on all social media, saying this is your feminist hero, is friends with a pedophile sex trafficker. Mark Lobauer. What's up, Mark? Love your Granny Petro bits. Thanks, Graham. But Greta. So do I. Thanks, man. Artificial Morphosman, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Watch Planet of the Humans, then saw Josh Fox critique solar panels last longer than 10 years. I'm with Josh on this one. I haven't watched it yet, but I bet you there's some shit I can poke some holes into, because it's easy to poke holes into Michael Moore's movies. I've met Michael Moore. He's a nice guy, and some of his movies, I'm glad he brings up certain points, but I'm going to poke some holes in it. I'm sure there's some good. I've heard one of his sentiments in the movie is like, we just need to consume less before we start building green energy. And look, this pandemic quarantine is showing us that. Air quality is better. There's less garbage. There's more bees and animals because we're not poisoning the earth. And that's just a byproduct of a quarantine. That's not the design of this quarantine, is to save the planet. So yes, consuming less is absolutely correct. It's like you have a bathtub that's flooding, and you know, you have to turn the faucet off first, you know, and then start slowly. We got to stop making so much, stop using all this single-use plastic, and start getting all that sustainable stuff too. But I want to know who funded Michael Moore's movie. That's my main thing. What do I always say on the show? Follow the money. Find out who funded that movie. Because remember Waiting for Superman? That movie I saw it when it came out, whatever, 8-9 years ago. It's like, wow, man, and it was like, boy, it's pretty critical of the teachers unions. I found out later it was funded by Bill Gates, who's in favor of charter schools. So it was deliberate bullshit, and they got rushed through yeah. So just documentaries, they know the power of documentaries, and they rush it through the festival circuit, Sundance and Tribeca, and they win awards there. And that's to give it the liberal gold seal, like, oh, the liberal, they love it. So that all the liberals go, well, it won all these awards, so it must be amazing. And it's a way that they trick people into believing propaganda. They give it this fake narrative. It's this little gritty movie that slugged its way up it's like the Joe Biden, Joe-mentum. No, it's all manufactured. So I'm going to watch that doc. I will. Bobby Tony. Oh, I keep calling you Bobby Tony. Bobby Tony. Sorry, dude. I overread it. That's hilarious. He does. No, I did. I'm trying to read with Bobby Tony. Okay. I was like, Bobby Tokney. I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was an idiot. I'm a jackass. I did comb my hair. I think I combed it too much. Bobby Tokney. That one was on purpose. Thanks, Bobby Tony. God damn it. I don't try to mispronounce everybody's names. I'm just horrible at it. I don't know what. My brain works really fast with certain things, and then I don't know. And, God, sorry. Bobby Tony, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. If there was a 5-foot swastika at your rally, you would think about retirement too. He's lucky it wasn't a gun. No, I know Bernie was like, I've talked about this before. I mean, just being Jewish, he probably got crazy anti-Semitic threats, and then God only knows what the ruling class deep state threatened him with. I know. Big Baby Zubas, what's up? Good to have you here. Wesley Barron, Shaving Knuckles for Justice. I think Bernie should have resigned his Senate seat in 2018 when his term ended. That way he wouldn't have been handcuffed to the Dem establishment when running for president. Or do you think it'd make a difference? Thanks. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think if he just should have said and ran as an independent, that's what he really should have done. Because he's an independent senator. He's only signed on to become a Democrat twice to run for president twice. And after 2016, he immediately went back to being an independent. That was his main mistake. Maybe it was by design to sheep herd us. I don't know. But if he ran as an independent, not a Democrat, then he wouldn't have been worried about and gotten rid of his Senate seat. But he still wants to play ball and be accepted and be liked and be put on this committee and that committee. That's what he should have done. Bailed on his Senate seat and said, I'm running as an independent, not within the Democratic Party, and started a third party. Everyone wanted him to, and he said no. Because had he done that, then he could have honestly called out Obama, which would have brought in a lot of independent voters. But he wants to play ball within the Democratic Party. Anna Bird retired. What's up, Anna? Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Jesse Ventura has a video of him saying voting for him is like voting for Che Guevara. Yay. Right on. Oh, Basil Peterson, Shaving Knuckles for Justice, Basil. We've been off-grid for 10 years, and our panels are 22% efficient, warranted for 25 years, and we have wind when the sun don't shine. Not a world changer, but I don't know when the power goes out. Nice. Thanks for sharing that, Basil. Big Baby Zubas, I forgot to shave my knuckles. What do we do now? Shave them for justice. General strike, peaceful, nonviolent resistance. That's what we got to do. Look, if Jesse runs or Nina runs as a People's Party, I'll get behind that. But it still doesn't mean we can't hang all hopes on them. These general strikes, these rent strikes, we need this now. We need to do this now. I can't wait to see what kind of bullshit, shenanigan, soap opera, professional wrestling, reality TV, real housewives of Dumbtown happens this summer with these idiot parties and this dumb Democratic nonsense. We don't have time for that shit. So we gotta take action now, man. Start organizing more rent strikes now for June. Because we're not gonna get bailed out in the next 3 weeks. It ain't gonna happen. Crystal Folk, what's up, Crystal? Shave your knuckles for justice. My mom cuts hair outside Atlanta. Although work is open, she's staying home at least another 2 weeks. She's had to order PPEs to work. That should all be going to hospitals. Your hair is fine. Hang in there. Thank you. I hope I didn't mispronounce Crystal Folk. Sam Dean, remember you misspelled my name in our video. I'm sorry. You guys all got crazy names. What do you want me to do? We got Bobby Tokney. We got Sam Denane. I don't know. That ain't my problem. I got a lot of hair I got to worry about now. I got hair. I got guns. I got vegan guns. I mean, I got a lot going on. I got sound issues every fucking week. Let's sing a song and wrap it up. What do you think? What was the song you? I'll scroll up. Let the Sunshine In. You got it. Hit the like button. Jimmy Dore's hair looks better than ever. He should embrace the gray. Yeah, that's what I do. Bill Gates is insane. Jesse's not articulate enough. That doesn't matter. He'll resonate with all these independent voters and people that don't vote and libertarians and all right, let's go. Yes, let the sunshine in, right? I'm like a dolphin. Sit-ups for justice. Yes, Kate. Let the sunshine in. Let's find it. Here we go. Remember now, Saturday. Here's our tickets for the Saturday Zoom show. Saturday, 5 o'clock. Bobby, Tony, you took my money. Technically, I own you now. Yes. I'm in the pocket of big YouTube or whatever, YouTube super chatters. You guys owe me. You're hilarious. Yeah, you heard Bush was not articulate either. It's not the articulate doesn't register with a lot of voters. All right, let's do it. Oh shit, already after 5. Let the sunshine in. Here we go. As William Shatner.
The great enemy of writing
The great
isn't your
enemy of
own lack of
writing.
talent,
It's
it's being
my-
interrupted by other people.
That's what does it. Let the sunshine. The fifth dimension. When the moon is in the 7th and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. 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 Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods or delusions, golden living dreams of visions. The mind's true liberation. Aquarius. Set a course for Aquarius. What factor 5? Well, the moon is in his 7th house. Scotty, I need more speed. And Jupiter aligns with Mars. And peace will guide the planets. And love will steer the stars. This is the dawning spot of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. 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 Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. Who will open a hailing frequency for the sun? Bring the shields down. Let the sun shine in. Call the Klingons and let the sun shine in. We need peace in the galaxy. We need to let the sun shine in. Let Klingon and human and Vulcan and Romulan and everybody in the galaxy join as one. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Open up your heart. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. You've got to feel it. Let the sun shine in. Let it shine on in. Let the sun shine in. Spock, let the sun shine in. I feel like I keep saying this over and over just to get the point. Let the sun shine in. Let it shine in. In case you're unclear what I've been saying, let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. You've got to feel it. You've got to feel it. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. Open up your heart. Let the sun shine in. Oh, Sam Dean, nice choice. Nice choice. 453 likes, right on it. Right on it. This is fantastic. You've been picking some good songs, Sam. I appreciate it. I can't open the pod bay doors, Dave. Oh, right on, everybody.
The great enemy of writing.
Oh boy, this lady's got a
isn't
lot
your
to say.
own
over
lack
here.
of talent. It's being interrupted
It's being interrupted.
by other people.
Wait a minute. Let's just listen to that again. Let sunshine in. Oh, come on. Come on, robots. There we go. Let the sun shine in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining our program this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Fawcett, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Nina is the leader of Bernie's movement. I hear her running third party as our fastest path to victory. She may not win in 2020, but she will in 2024. I think if she ran, if Biden kept the nomination, this lesser of two evil shit ends when she shows up. You have these two awful, corrupt, rapist white guys, one with dementia, one with a problem, and then Nina Turner shows up. I think that rallies a lot of people. That's my opinion. Irrescinded Kitten, what's up? Come out, blues and reds, and fight us greens like a man. Show us how you made Wall Street great again. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vanna Dulles. Thank you so much. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. As of right now, it's premium members only. If you're $10, it'll be a private premium chat for you. If you haven't, go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood and sign up. If that becomes free to everybody, I will announce that on Twitter, but that's tomorrow at 8 o'clock either way. 8 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks for the stream, everybody. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. I really appreciate everybody supporting the show. And remember, you're making Gotham great again. And let the sun shine in. The sun shine in.